Elvis Presley was a pioneer as an entertainer, but he was also one of the most charitable celebrities to ever live. Having been raised poor and by God-fearing parents, Elvis gave only by the purity of his heart and with his desire to help his fellow man. Though Elvis Presley fell into a 95% tax bracket during his life, it should be noted that Elvis never took a tax write-off, nor did he ask for any publicity for his charitable deeds. He gave just for the love of giving. Some of Elvis's charitable contributions are ingrained in Elvis Presley's fans' memories, but others have gone unnoticed. In 1957, Elvis donated $1,050 to his old high school. The donation made it possible for all of the students to attend the annual E.H. Crump Memorial Football Game for the Blind in Memphis, Tennessee. In 1956 and in 1957, Elvis opted to perform live concerts at the Tupelo Fairgrounds in order to raise money for the Elvis Presley Youth Foundation. The proceeds were donated to the Cynthia Milk Fund and to the Variety Club's Home for Convalescent Children. In 1956 and 1957, Elvis posed on numerous occasions for national advertising campaigns to prevent polio. In fact, he appeared live on national television on the afternoon of October 28, 1956, and was inoculated with the third version of Jonas Salk's anti-polio vaccine. The exponential increase in the immunization level of all Americans went from 0.6% to 80% in a 6-month period. By April of 1957, the Salk Institute declared polio all but eradicated from U.S. soil.
Hey kids, could I talk to you for about 30 seconds? This is Elvis Presley. Remember polio victims. Join the 1957 March of Dimes today.
On January 6, 1957, during his third appearance at The Ed Sullivan Show, Elvis requested Mr. Sullivan ask those watching to send urgent financial contributions to help relieve the plight of some 250,000 Hungarians affected by the Soviet invasion of the country.
Young man feels so keenly about Hungarian relief. He urges all of us through the country to remember that immediate aid is needed.
On the 28th of June 1957, Danny Thomas requested Elvis to appear as a special guest in his Shower of Stars, a charity event he had organized every year. Danny Thomas hoped to raise enough funds to build what is today the most important medical and research center for children with cancer, St. Jude's Hospital. After many unsuccessful events, Danny asked Elvis if he would be willing to help. Without hesitation, Elvis said yes. The King made his appearance, and without singing a single song, some 14,000 donors attended. The evening was a huge success, and work on the construction of the hospital's first building commenced in December of 1957. Before being drafted by the U.S. Army, Elvis routinely sought out to visit and to give a hug to children faced with life-threatening illnesses. Elvis personally visited hospitals with the intent to simply show the children that he cared. These interactions affected Elvis deeply, and many times Elvis was moved to tears and attempting to compose himself. Elvis often donated the stuffed animals that he had received from fans worldwide, which numbered in the hundreds, to children at local hospitals, in addition to allowing his own clothes, personal possessions, to be auctioned off for charity. Throughout his life, Elvis would visit with the Graceland secretary, who among other tasks went through Elvis's mail, and if a photograph, a request, or a story touched Elvis, he would immediately take steps to help the people involved. Whether it was paying off people's debts, helping a family whose father had died in the line of duty, paying off someone's mortgage, buying them a home, buying them a car, or giving a disabled person a new wheelchair. If Elvis knew about it, he helped. On March 24, 1961, Elvis performed in Hawaii for a benefit concert held at the Bloch Arena to raise money for a memorial for the USS Arizona, which had sank during the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Elvis raised $65,000 and a plaque was prominently placed at the memorial site acknowledging Elvis's efforts in raising the money. Sadly, the plaque was removed due to the acts of a few powerful politicians. The return of this plaque remains an utter disgrace to many Americans. In 1963, Elvis donated a 1955 red Ford Thunderbird to the March of Dimes and was then sold in auction in late 1963. In 1964, Elvis bought the FDR presidential yacht named the Potomac and donated it to the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, who ultimately sold it for an amount of $55,000. In 1968, Elvis allowed one of his Rolls-Royces to be auctioned off for a charity that assisted mentally retarded children. In 1973, Elvis performed the first live concert broadcast via worldwide satellite, which was seen by a record audience of over 1 billion people, known as Aloha from Hawaii. This concert was actually a benefit concert for the Kuiokalani Cancer Fund. The goal was to raise $25,000, but this amount was greatly exceeded and actually raised $75,000. In 1975, Elvis gave a concert in Jackson, Mississippi that raised in excess of $100,000 for victims of a tornado. This concert was deeply personal to Elvis because when Elvis was a child, a tornado tore through his hometown in Tupelo, Mississippi and killed many people. Elvis annually presented checks to approximately 50 charities and organizations each year in Memphis, and each check was for a minimum of $1,000. Giving over $10,000 to the Memphis Jewish Community Center Building Fund. In recognition of Elvis's charitable contributions throughout his life, Memphis Mayor William Ingram, along with the Governor of Tennessee, Buford Ellington, officially declared October 29, 1967 Elvis Presley Day in the city of Memphis and in the state of Tennessee. Elvis learned early on what it meant to receive food, clothes, and kindness from others, as well as the grace and honor in freely helping out others in need, both publicly and privately. Elvis was not a perfect man, but no man is. But it is a fact the world would be a much better place if there were more men like Elvis today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below.